Welcome back to the Ridgeline Hunting Podcast, brought to you by Phelps Game Calls, with your hosts, David Crane and David Sandana.
Hey everybody, if you are looking for a game call that is elk, turkey, deer, predator calls, waterfowl calls, we highly recommend PhelpsGameCalls.com. Professional grade game calls made for every hunter. That's right, Phelps Game Calls. All right. Well, hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Ridgeline Hunting Podcast. Thank you for listening. And I'm your host, one of your hosts, David Crane. And I have a special guest, Michael Peterson. Mike, what's up, man?
Oh, nothing much. I'm back.
Yeah, Mike is back.
It's been a minute since I've been on one of the casts.
That's right. Yeah. Mike actually helps a lot in the background. He did our logo. He's done our logo for also Ridgeline Hunting, which is our YouTube channel. And Mike has been helping filming and also helped me out with like some editing techniques like way back when we first started. Yeah. And then he's basically one of my hunting partners. Mike goes on a lot of scouting trips with me. If you guys haven't seen some of our videos on YouTube, Mike's in them. He's in a lot of them. And basically today we're going to kind of do like a little recap of 2023 and then looking forward into 2024 because, I mean, we're 18 days into the new year.
Yeah, 18.
So we're going to kind of dive into that. So basically starting off, we're going to go to turkey season, which you only got like a few days of turkey season in.
Yeah, we got like a weekend? I think it was a weekend.
Yeah.
Long weekend. I think it was, 3 days we were there?
Yeah, we were there for, yeah, it was 3 days, yeah. So the 3 days that we hunted, we didn't really film anything because we didn't really see anything.
No, we heard stuff right above our camp that we couldn't shoot, but we heard it.
So the area that we're staying in is one of our buddies, a coworker of ours, property. And to be honest, it was rough because all the turkeys were in this like area that we couldn't hunt, or at least it seemed like. Yeah. I mean, it seemed like that.
We had that one that we kind of spooked a little bit, but
yeah, we did have a tom coming in, but we didn't really know the direction of where it was coming from. So the area that we went to was brand new to the both of us, and that was kind of like how we wanted to go into it. We wanted to go into an area that we both didn't really know, just to see if we can find some birds.
Yeah,
and we did. We found birds. We were on a bird, except for when we heard the bird call, it was actually away from us, so we thought it was further than it was, and I was telling Mike like, hey man, we need to try to move our location into a better spot so that we can try to get like a better field of view to shoot this turkey. Well, as we're moving, the turkey saw us. Like, it was not as far as I thought it was. It like turned its head around and was just like, what's up, guys?
Yeah.
And it just took off. So
yeah,
that sucked.
It was a bump. We saw a lot of deer, though.
Yeah, we saw a lot of deer, and
we came back trying to get those deer.
Yeah, we'll get into that a little bit later. But we did. So after that, you know, the turkey season, Mike only got a weekend. I went out turkey hunting with Dave and a newer buddy of ours, Cameron, who ended up moving to Texas, and now he's in Virginia or something like that. Cam, you could check me on that one because I'm not sure if you're in Virginia yet or if that's where you landed. Don't quote me on that. I don't know. But turkey season for Sandana was successful.
Yeah, he got one.
Yeah, we ended up calling in turkey within like 2 hours of daylight, which was awesome. Except for then the rest of the weekend, I'm trying to fill my tag and I cannot get a bird to commit. And I think I found out why. And that's why I want to kind of do this recap. So not only every single time you go out hunting, you learn something, but you also learn about things that don't work. And for me, in the birds that we were hunting, we call them like mountain Merriams because we're kind of like hunting them on these ridges. But was a Montana decoy, and it was a 2D Montana decoy. So it looks 3D until you're like come around on it, and then it's like a flat piece. Looks like a flat piece of paper. It's like fabric, so you can like bend it down. It's awesome because you can store it in a pocket and just flip it out and go. There are certain situations where it would work, but in the situation that I was in, it didn't work, and I'm going to explain that right now. I was on a ridge, called in a tom, but as I was calling in this tom and it's moving up, another tom and hen join it. So now I got a little conga line coming up this ridge. Now, instead of coming up where I thought they were going to come up, was to my left, they went up towards my right. It's kind of sitting like this, and I'm on a hill over here. So they're kind of coming up like this when I wanted them to come up this way, which was okay until they ended up going so far right that they saw my Montana decoy was not 3D. And then, so they sent the pawn, is what I call it, the hen in. So the hen came in, and the hen looked at it, did this little boop, and then just gone. And the two toms were like, oh, okay. And then they just followed her right out of there. And I was just like, son of a gun. I had two tags in my pocket, and I probably could have shot both those birds with one shot.
Oh, that's how close they were to each other?
Yeah, so the toms were just hanging out together watching this hen. They were coming up very slow, like super slow, but like together. Like both their heads would come up together. Like everything they did was like twin mode. Like they were dialed. And the hen just kind of came in, saw it, turned around, and left. So that's my one takeaway from turkey season. What was yours during the weekend that you did go out there? And it was your first time turkey hunting.
My takeaway is turkeys are smarter than what they seem.
Dude.
And their freaking eyesight is like on point. You got to be like dead still when you're trying to get them in.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize that, man. It's like, oh, it's a dumb turkey. But I told you going in, like, dude, you're going to expect the unexpected. Like these birds are not what people think they are.
Yeah, because they always think of like the stories of turkeys looking up when it rains and drowning and all that stuff. But it's like,
yeah, the turkeys are smart, dude. Like they know their environment. They're a bird, so they can see color. They can see movement, and they'll pick you off from super far away. It doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
I mean, that bird that we saw, that we were barely moving, and then like Mike and I both like boom like this, and the bird's just like, see ya.
Yeah, it ran out. We didn't even know where it went too.
No, it disappeared. And plus so this new area, we noticed that there's a lot of recreation going on over there. So there's a lot of dirt bike riders. There's a lot of side-by-sides, quads, and all this other stuff going on besides the people hunting.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there was a lot of that. Yeah, it was just one of those things.
And when we were up on that one ridge, we could see.
Mike, can you flick on that light back there? We are really dark in this.
And we can the one ridge.
Hey yo!
We were walking up, and you saw that one bird that was like, what did we range it at? Like freaking 800 something yards.
Yeah. So I'm looking through the binos, and I'm like, that looks kind of like a bird. And then I grabbed my 15s, and I was like, hey, Mike, I found a turkey. And he was like, it seriously just looked like a little twig sticking out of the ground, but we were so far away. And it ended up being a turkey. And then we ended up hunting that area the next day. Nothing happened, but we did find like a bunch of elk sign, deer everywhere. And it's definitely a spot where I think if you pick the right season, because we'll get to this, but if you pick the right season, it's probably one of the best deer hunting areas.
Yeah.
Like fairly close to where we live instead of us going, super far east side and 5 or 6 hours later, we have, we're in a good deer spot.
Yeah.
This one's actually not super far away, which is
pretty
nice.
close, just over the pass.
Yep. We won't say where, but yeah, it is on the east side, but it's just over the pass. And we had a lot of fun, man. I mean, it was just a quick trip. Mike didn't really get to experience like a good turkey season or even a turkey sit, but hopefully this year, I know, Mike, you said you weren't sure if you were going to turkey hunt this year, but
Yeah.
Hopefully if you do go out this year, I'll take you to a really good turkey spot that usually produces a lot of birds. Can't say that you're going to shoot one just because I didn't last year, but you'll have an opportunity. You'll actually be able to see and work birds, right?
Oh yeah.
And be in that situation to where we'll 100% be on turkeys, but shooting one, you know what happens with that. I mean, but we'll 100% be on turkeys. Now with rolling out of turkey season, now we headed into more of that summertime.
Yeah. Summer
Actually, let's scoot back a little bit. Scouting. So we did quite a bit of scouting this year.
Yeah.
We
Bunch.
we went to like a few different areas and camped.
Got attacked by mosquitoes.
Dude, you guys do not realize the mosquitoes that attacked us. It was insane. All right, I'm gonna have to move this camera, man. There we go. Sitting just a little. There we go. Now we got you, Mike. Now we got you. Okay.
Have to be leaning in like I'm selling something.
Yeah. Get in there. Yeah. So there's been a couple spots that I've wanted to go to for years and just never did because there's just one spot that always produces animals. Number one, for scouting reasons, like you're always going to see animals. And then for me, during that time, I really like to photograph the animals or do videos of the animals and put them on our YouTube shorts and stuff like that. And Mike, you got to witness that, us driving to a camp.
Yeah.
And we had massive amounts of elk everywhere.
Yeah, like good size herd of elk.
Yeah. And that was just what we could see with our eyes. Because it seemed like every little turn we did, there was more and more and more and more and more.
Yeah.
And that wasn't even the ones that we couldn't see that were possibly off the ridge that was not even very far, 200 yards.
Yeah.
It's like a rolling hill.
They're little chubbers too. They weren't like small.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in that area, there are no more cow hunts.
Yeah.
So now the cows aren't really being hunted anymore. So, it's on the east side. It's a spike only area. So the bulls get big and the cows get even bigger. So, I mean, 4 or 5 years ago, it was cow and spike. And then they got rid of it a few years ago. I hope they implement that back. We'll see what happens. It probably won't ever come back. Probably will never have a cow tag for those areas, but
yeah, too bad though.
Yeah, man. Like I'm waiting to see if any of that changes because I will go back to that area because 100% you'll be on elk.
So that's a different side that we went on this year that we didn't go on last in 2022. We didn't go. It was like a different road that we went up.
Yeah, so the spot where we got attacked by mosquitoes, and I'm talking straight up attack. We were trying to have lunch, and you couldn't see anything. It was just covered with mosquitoes. Your face is getting demolished by mosquitoes. We set up camp there late night.
Oh,
so we had like no idea.
Dark 30.
Yeah, we had no idea what we were even looking at, really, because I mean you couldn't see jack. I mean it was darker than hell.
It was a flat area that we kind of pulled off to.
Yeah, we're just like, all right, let's just set up right here. We're gonna drive around all night.
Yeah,
and it was close to an area that I wanted to scout out anyways. And I've actually had this on my OnX maps for 7 years. Never looked at it. Never, ever. Just never went that far deep in there. So we set up camp. The next morning, we have breakfast, and we set out to this ridge that we wanted to look down into this burn. Instantly, we get into like a little bit of timber, and we are just getting molested by mosquitoes.
Yeah,
it was terrible, and so. Mike's like, dude, we can't stay here. We have to move. We have to get somewhere else. And I'm like, all right, well, let's, work our way through here. We found like some like crazy
the forest
cabin
was burnt
or something
up too.
Yeah.
It was previously burnt up, and there's like a winter shelter emergency cabin that was built that we walked past.
Yep, I marked that. Marked that sucker just in case. You just never know.
Yeah, once we got out of there, it was good. Like, mosquitoes are just all over the woods.
Yeah, so we ended up finding out later on there was like this little marsh, like right off where we camped. There's like a marsh right there. So it's like standing gross water. And when we were there, it wasn't super bad, but you could tell like some of those areas were just like sloshy.
Yeah.
Which reminds me, I do need to go back and get
your camera.
My camera.
Still out there.
Yeah, it's going to be a year probably. It'll just be hanging out.
Yeah.
But yeah, the area was super nice. I actually told Mike, a few days ago, like we should actually just go back there, move camp. Obviously, we'll just park the truck and then hike in.
Yeah, hike up to where we were glassing and camp up on top of that.
Only because, like, there's been so many successful hunts on burns. And I would say that area is probably coming up on 4 or 5 years since that was burned.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was.
Everything was coming back. So
yeah, I think it was in 19 that burn was, and it's going to be 4 or 5 years. Push it out to 8, but it's more or less like everything is just green in there.
Yeah, it's
like super green,
starting to come back.
And like glassing wise, you can see the floor, the vegetation on the floor, right? Because all the trees are like burnt to a crisp. They're just poles sticking out of the ground, basically.
Yeah.
There's nothing on them. So like glassing wise, we should be able to see something cruising through there.
Yeah, we could probably, I'm saying we can do that for like a weekend.
Yeah. Good weekend scouting trip. But that is definitely an area that I do want to come back to. But we knocked out quite a bit. So like there was that weekend that we were over there, and then another weekend where we go to we call it our bear area just because like we camped
in the same weekend.
We camped in what was it?
Yeah, because we moved from that. We went up to
because we were like, we gotta get out of here.
Yeah,
mosquitoes are
we
bad.
Couldn't stay there for another night, so we went to the other way.
That is right. So we went down to this next road that kind of takes us to our so-called bear area, and we call it that because like we camped during bear season 2 years ago, because that was like your very first bear hunt.
2 years ago,
in 22. We get out of camp. We go to a spot where I was just like, let's just glass here. We sit down, pull out the binos, and I go, Mike, there's a bear. we're like, what the heck?
Yeah.
And there's just a bear chewing on stumps, a little bit out of our effective range, which hopefully this year we can change, and we'll go into like what we want to plan on doing in 24, but we'll talk about that. But that bear ended up being out of range, but we went there and we basically spent the whole weekend camping in one spot and glassing in one spot.
Yeah.
And dude, that was awesome. It was so much fun.
Especially like waking up to it.
Yeah, seriously. So I did a hammock camp, and then Mike was using a single man tent that is extremely fast to set up.
Oh yeah.
It's super fast. Like
it's a trekking pole tent.
Yeah, he has a single man trekking pole tent that takes him less time than setting up my hammock. My hammock's very fast. So it's like, what? Between the both of us, it was 7 or 8 minutes to set up camp.
Yeah, the longest part with you is the rainfly.
Yeah. So usually I don't run a rainfly, but I figured it was like early enough in the season where we don't really know what the weather's going to do in the mountains. So I was just like, I'll put a rainfly over the top of me just in case. Didn't need it. Actually, I did need it because it was colder than heck. It was cold.
Yeah. And the shade because we got a lot of sun too during the day.
Yep. And it was nice. It was cool just to like, when we were kind of like, all right, let's just, take a break from glassing with our eyeballs and stuff. Let's just hang out. It was nice just to kind of get under there out of the sun and hang out. Definitely something that I'm going to be doing a lot more. I usually use my hammock quite a bit during the early season. Number one, if we do end up hiking in, which I took Mike to my favorite spot, call it the washout.
We tried to get some coyotes up there.
Yep. So I took Mike out coyote hunting, and it was just like for a few hours because it was actually on our way back out. But it is like kind of a trek in, but it's a very nice area, and we'll be going back there and coyote hunting as long as we can, if we can get in there this year, as long as nothing changes with coyote hunting, which I don't think it will, but
not for this year.
Yeah. But we'll definitely get in there because that is like, Mike hasn't been able to spend a whole weekend in that area.
No, it was like literally 2 hours?
Something like that.
It was like 30 minutes going up or so, 45 minutes walking up to it. Then it was like an hour.
We're like, because we both have dirt bikes, and we're just like, dude, we should just blast up here at the dirt bikes, get here in 2 minutes.
It's just a matter of getting it over because of the washout part.
Yeah, and I think where we walked up would be easy the suspension will, because it's kind of like some mountain bikers kind of made like little stairwell, but that stairwell has been kind of washed out, so it's fairly flat.
Yeah.
So I think we can just goose it up there and we'd be fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we did the scouting, we did a little bit of coyote hunting, which we're going to talk about it later, but we plan on doing a little bit more of that this year. And then that rolls right into bear season.
I didn't do a whole lot of bear hunting this year.
You know what?
You went out, I think, a few times, right?
I went out a couple times, but it was more or less just that one weekend that you and I went.
Yeah. I think you went out like one more time late season.
This summer was really busy.
Yeah.
This summer was really, really busy. Well, I mean, even before all that stuff, we did right before bear season, we did the mountain challenge.
Yeah, Stevens Pass.
Yeah, the Northwest Mountain Challenge. If you guys haven't seen the video, check that out. It's on the YouTube channel. We have the Stevens Pass one, and then we did Hoodoo in 2022. That was our first experience with the mountain challenge. This year we plan on doing Hoodoo and Stevens Pass. We're trying to figure out the logistics of it because if we got to stay in a tent again, we need to actually get there early and find a good spot to where we're not on the pavement because that sucked.
We got to do a travel day instead of going after work.
Yeah. And I mentioned that to my wife, and she was like, and you can't go to South Carolina with me, blah, blah, blah. So you might see a South Carolina fishing video coming up. So we did a mountain challenge. That was fantastic. I had a lot of fun with that shoot.
Yeah.
It was, we didn't do pure elevation, or Everest is what they're calling it now.
Yeah, I don't know what they call it now. Just Everest the hiking one.
The massive one, but it's only like 14 or 15 targets. But it's up and straight down.
Yeah, it's like what,
shooting across canyons.
21 or 2,200 feet of elevation you hike,
something like that.
Yeah, it's like straight up.
Yeah, and it's like it's straight up. It's not gradual. It's like you're going up there. Yeah. It's intense.
That's side hilling.
So we did that at Hoodoo. So if you want to see anything from that, like pure elevation or Everest or whatever they're calling it, that's on the Hoodoo film. Stevens Pass one, we didn't do that. More or less, we didn't really have time to do it.
No.
Just because we also had a new archer, and we didn't really want to burn him out.
But that
Mike's brother Dave.
The second day when we went up, that was sort of like a mini pure elevation. The way that they had it set up, I forgot what it was. It wasn't
Vortex.
Might have been Vortex or Bow Spider, one of the two.
It seemed like a mini pure elevation because, I mean, they weren't 120-yard shots, but there was a lot of 80, 70,
and the hiking
90
part.
Something. There was one that was 115 yards. You're supposed to
shoot
one that shoot over the little pond or whatever.
Yeah.
That one was cool.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I didn't shoot it because I didn't feel like losing an arrow. Because I know, I'm like, man, that's on my range. I only can go like 101 or so.
Yeah, I think it was like 114 yards or something like that.
Yeah.
It was something ridiculous.
I don't want to do math that in my head after hiking all that.
All the Kentucky windage that goes into that. But we had a lot of fun with that one. And we plan on continuing to have the fun with those ones.
I didn't lose an arrow this last year at Stevens.
Mike almost beat me on one of the courses. And
you beat me at 1 point.
It was 1 point, but then after that, I ran away with it.
Yeah, but you did miss. You did lose some arrows though.
I did. I lost one. I think I blew it up like completely.
Yeah.
Botched the shot, and I actually did this the other day.
Yeah, you
shooting
botched
with Mike. This is kind of like so 23 was my first season with a mover, and I'm still not used to it. So the shot before was like a 74-yarder. I pinwheeled the thing out of it. That was that white goat up against the rocks or whatever. Like, just couldn't shoot it any better. It was perfect shot. Go to the next one, and I'm like, yes, dude, I got this thing down.
And it's a big moose, too. That was a big moose target that you missed.
It was a moose, wasn't it? Yeah, it was a moose. And I'm like, oh, this is a chip shot, shoot like 15 feet over its back. And I'm like, what the heck? Look down, and I'm like, oh, son of a gun. I forgot to move the mover back. Now, I don't ever have to deal with that during hunting because I lock it in. I have from 20 to 60. I have 5 pins, 20 yards spaced out. I don't move it. If I can't shoot something within 60 yards, I'm not going to shoot it.
Yeah,
I'm not going to play with my mover when I'm out in that situation. But if I'm blasting foam, I mean, it could be 150 yards. I'll send it.
Yeah,
whatever.
Mine's set up the same way. Mine's 1 through 70 though.
Oh, because you have that extra floater pin.
Yeah, I got 20 through 70 on mine.
Yeah. So Mike has what is that site called?
It's an option. The option S6, I think. So or 6S or whatever it is.
Oh, and option. Yeah, option makes that. So he used
option
to be
archery makes it.
Yeah, he used to be trophy taker like back in the day, but now it's option. Awesome. That's a really awesome site too.
Yeah, like the five pins flip out, and you have a single mover that can go up and down, and then you can put the pins back and have like the mover at whatever you want from the tape.
Yeah, and that's a really cool setup. I was actually going to purchase that, but it was just out of my budget for last year, just because there was a lot of other things that I was like trying to implement into my pack. So number one, I bought another pack.
Yeah.
That was
You came to the Kuyu side.
I did. So going into like we'll go into some gear stuff after we kind of tie all that stuff together. But I did end up getting a pack, which I used at the Northwest Mountain Challenge. It was kind of like its first intro into me using it. I really did like the pack, and we'll get into that here in a minute. But so after the Northwest Mountain Challenge was like 2 weeks later was bear season. I don't really remember us having like a bear season specifically.
No.
I may have gone over a weekend. Oh no, I did. I did go with Sandana. Yep.
Yeah.
We went over to a bear spot that we used to go to way back when, and we haven't been since. And to be honest, we went to an area where there's a ton of huckleberries, tons of bear food that you would expect to see a bear, but we didn't see any bears. All we saw were hikers and runners. There was a running event where we usually bear hunt, so that
probably scared it off.
There was just no bears, dude. There was nothing. It stunk, really. So it was terrible.
Naked two-legged bears running around.
Yeah. A lot of hikers. There was that running event that we didn't know until like later on in the day.
Oh, did you like go past the grouping area wherever they were at?
Yeah. There's like a ton of like easy up tents and all this stuff, and we're like, what the heck is going on here? There's a film crew.
Oh, this is everybody.
We're like, whoa, it's I want to say it's a Sasquatch 500 or something crazy, and I want to say it starts in Oregon and goes through this whole area. Yeah. It was insane. I was like, okay, well that makes sense why we're not seeing any bears.
Yeah. They're all out there.
So we were just like, well, all right, I guess it's time for us to leave. So we left, and that was my bear season. After that, I seriously don't really remember August. I really don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. I really don't remember August really at all.
We didn't really do a whole lot in August. The only thing in August I remember was just the coyotes, the coyote hunt that we went on before bear season started.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, we did do a weekend of that, and it was kind of like bear/coyote hunting.
Yeah.
I mean, had my Phelps fawn call and squeaking away.
Yep.
But then September rolls around, which is deer season. We were out for September 1st, the opening weekend. We went over to where we went turkey hunting.
Oh,
and then this
we brought
time,
my brother too.
Yep, David Peterson was with us, brand new archer who can shoot a bow really well. I mean, both these guys can. They can shoot bows very well. And I was actually certain that in September we would have been on some deer, and
we saw some deer that we couldn't shoot.
Yeah, so this area is 3-point or better. So we could only hunt bucks, and we saw some does. We were on deer.
Fawns.
Yep, but we just the bucks were still way high in an elevation, and we found this out because
and on the other side of the highway.
Yeah. Yes, and on the other side of the highway that we were, it was a lot higher elevation. Like we were kind of as high as we could go, pretty much, in the area that we were in.
Yeah.
But the bucks were not in that area at that time. It's more of a rifle season hunt.
Oh yeah.
Because in the everything starts pushing down, and the bucks start pushing down to those kind of lower elevations where we were, which still wasn't that low of an elevation. We were still in the mountains, just not as high as we could go in the mountains in that area.
Like during turkey season, we saw freaking snow and stuff still up there, so it was pretty high.
Yeah. Yep. But we went out there. We found out this information because I ended up going on a road that we weren't supposed to be on, and I did not know this. There's some areas over in eastern Washington on the east side that they actually have like road maps, and there's maps that tell you roads that you can't go on. And I seriously had no clue. So we set up camp. We went out on a hunt that morning. We came back kind of afternoon ish.
Yeah.
And to see a game warden. Nice gentleman. He was really nice. Gave me a ticket, which I was in the wrong spot, right? I mean, I'll own up to that. He gave me the information that I needed. You can actually there's a QR code. You can scan it and it tells you where you can be. Very easy. I was 100 yards off a road that I wasn't supposed to be on. 100 yards. And I told him, I was like, hey, thank you for giving me the information that I need. He gave me the ticket. I can't remember what it wasn't like a trespassing thing, but it has something to do.
It's the non-motorized, like no motorized vehicles were supposed to be on this road.
Yeah, it's like a certain road system that in the area that we're on. The signage, I should have took a picture of it. Looked like a side-by-side.
Yeah.
And it was supposed to be a Jeep.
It didn't look like a Jeep at all.
So I thought it was like, okay, no dirt bikes, quads, side-by-sides. And I think that was it on the thing, because it had like the crosses.
The cross.
Yeah, the little line through it. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. We're good. Like, I have a license to drive my vehicle. Like, we're good. This isn't an off-road vehicle. It's a truck. And that was not the case. It wasn't a side-by-side. It was a Jeep, which would mean like all vehicles are not supposed to be on that. So it was my fault. I got the ticket, and then we were just like, let's go. It's like we already have to pack up and head out anyways. And I was like, let's go to my secret squirrel spot and hunt that area. So, and it's an area that we can basically just go at home at night and come back. It's fairly close. It's not super far away from where we live. And yeah, man. And then we did that, and the first morning and first sit was kind of weird. Number one, we get to a spot. Mike and Dave, we kind of come up with this plan like, hey, we're going to go over here. And then I told them, all right, I'm going to go like 150 yards this way. And we're just going to sit down and we're basically just like ambush hunt. I had a game camera set up kind of close to that area. And there was deer that were coming through there. And there was actually a few bucks that were on the camera as well.
It was like a really big one too, and I saw when we went back without you, that one on another weekend.
Yeah. So as we were going into that area, we started kind of stripping down, taking off some of our outer layers, and I left my release. I thought I left it at the truck. Then I thought I left it on a trail. And then I found it where we stripped down.
Yeah, right next to the game camera.
And then finally I get to my spot, and we're in there for not very long, and all of a sudden I look to my side and there's a cougar.
Yeah.
Freaking insane.
Just staring at you.
Yep. If you guys want to listen to that, that's on another podcast. It's called The Cougar Story. I think it's episode 54 or something like that. But we kind of dive into all that. But basically, we spent the rest of the day trying to find this cougar. We never ended up recovering it. I don't even think I gave it a fatal wound. I think I clipped the upper shoulder.
I think me and my brother heard it when we were out trying to get it.
And then didn't you say it was on the game camera too?
It looked like it was on the game camera out there.
I haven't pulled that one yet either. I need to do that. Not this weekend because I work, but maybe the next weekend on Sunday or something, I'll go and grab it.
Yeah, because it looked like it was on there, but we also kind of heard it because we heard like this weird sound, and we're like, "What the heck is that weird sound?" And we like looked it up, and it was like a cougar call trying to call for other cougars or something like that.
Like a weird mating call or something?
Yeah, it was some weird screech kind of thing. And we're like, what the heck? Because it didn't sound like any sort of like other video of cougars that we've seen. But then we're like...
So weird.
Because it was on the other side of the road calling. So like, it had to have survived and just booked it onto that side. Because that's where all the freaking elk were. Because that was during elk season. And we were hearing bugles and stuff way out there. Like, God dang it, they're all on the other side, but we can't hunt.
Yeah, so the secret squirrel spot, it's just like this little patch of timber in between all this private stuff. So like sometimes you can catch the elk going in between there, and then that's why I sent like Dave and Mike in there. I'm like, dude, this is where I shot my first cow. You just have to be at the right place in the right time.
First season, the first season that I was hunting, we were going for deer, and I saw that elk butt.
Yeah,
So
actually, that was a big old 5x5 bull.
Yeah,
that was a monster. And we're like 3 days away from elk season. We're like, oh, dude.
Yeah, that's what
we gotta come in here. Yeah, that was nuts. And then so then we roll into elk season. I was hunting with Sandana and Luke, and then you were hunting with your brother.
Yep.
Nothing happened for me. I did get on a couple different herds of elk. They're in the YouTube shorts there. I didn't really make a video because there was really nothing there to like make a decent video.
Yeah, and
plus I was like filming myself with my cell phone, so it's just
we didn't really get on any elk. We were like 45 yards away from some deer, but
shot.
They looked up and they freaking just booked it.
Yeah, man. Hunting blacktail is a lot different than anything else because you can kind of get away with the spook and shoot type of style, which is, creeping through the woods. And then usually blacktail deer, I've noticed, will kind of look at you before they like bolt. So you have to be like ready.
Yeah.
I call it the spook and shoot. It's not spook and shoot. But they usually will like either look at you and stare at you for a second, and they'll just stand there like, you don't see me. You don't see me. Or sometimes they're gone, right? They just boogie out. Other times they'll like jump up out of their bed, run 30 or 40 yards, turn, and look at you again. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes it doesn't. But in that area, I really like to just set up and just wait. Yeah. And it's basically like a tree stand hunt, except for you're on the ground.
Yeah, basically.
Every once in a while, you can move, 100, 150 yards or something, and then set up, wait, and just keep on doing that all day. It's just, it works.
Yeah,
it works. It didn't work for me this year. I didn't fill a tag on anything for 23, and then yeah, man, pretty much after elk season. I did 1 day of late elk, got on some elk, didn't have a shot. It was a little bit too far away. And then, yeah, man, that was it.
Yeah.
That was it. So Mike, for this year, was there anything that you added to your like gear or anything for 23?
For 23, really the only thing I added is like, I got a new hat.
Nice. It's essential to have a hat. It really is. Yeah. It kind of guards your eyeballs from the sun.
And it was, the one I was using before was like a trucker hat. And this one was actually like a hat that was designed for
hunting.
And it had like the material kind of help cooling and all that. And it was camo. The other one was just black and brown. So I matched. Let's just say it that way.
The deer don't care.
Yeah, the deer don't care. I do.
That's right.
I matched.
Dang.
And that was it. I haven't gotten anything else since the last season.
Your bow sight.
Yeah, I was going with my new bow sight.
I think that was like the only
first
other
user with
thing.
The option, but that was the only other thing. Same arrows. Same broadheads. Same bow. Basically the same everything.
Yeah. I think, what did I add? Got a new pack.
Yeah, basically the whole pack suspension system.
Yeah.
Everything on that.
I can tell you what I need for 2024. A new set of binos. Not like my not my 15s that I use on a tripod. Those are awesome.
You like new 24s with the HD kind of.
I have 10x42s. I went to Arizona already in 24. So Arizona's deer season starts January 1 for archery. I was there for that. Freaking awesome hunt. I'm going back. I'm going to try to go every single year. Seriously, I didn't fill a tag, but it was the best hunt I've ever been on for hunting deer. Best ever. And that's after me shooting a mule deer before or any other deer that I've ever taken.
It was a nice, fun experience.
I was on bucks 6, 7, 8 million times a day. If you boogered up one, you're going right to another one.
Oh,
you booger up that one, you're going to another one. You booger up that one, you're going to another one.
They're just all over the place.
There's deer everywhere. I mean, Kirk's got it down. Like the spot that he has where he had us hunting was freaking awesome. So much fun. And there was quite a bit of hunters out there, but not enough hunters that are willing to go where the group that I was with, what we were willing to go after a buck.
Yeah.
So it was awesome. There was only a couple times where I was like on a buck and all of a sudden I'd go try to get up this ridge and someone else was already there. I was like, gosh, dang it. And I'd turn back around, and head out, so I don't mess up that guy's hunt.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, binos. I think I need to upgrade on my binos. I want to get a 12x50 pair of binos. And probably hand down my 10x42s to one of the kids. Possibly Malachi. He doesn't have a set yet. Devin has a really nice set of Nikons that are really nice.
Yeah.
They're actually nicer than mine. My 10x42s, they're actually nicer. The glass is a little bit. So what I've noticed, when I was in Arizona, I noticed when I would glass off my 10x42s on the tripod that the outer part of the ring was like fuzzy. So when I'm gridding, when I'm going through looking through the binos, I'm gridding with my eyes kind of back and forth, and then I'd do it again, and then I would do like up and down just in that one spot. Yeah. And then I'd move the glass out of right out of that spot. Take my eyes off the glass because there could be a deer like at 15 feet just because there's just deer everywhere. So I'd look with my eyes and then go back and start gridding again. But I noticed that like on the outer edges of the pair of binos that I have, it's very fuzzy. So it's not like rim to rim of clarity.
Oh yeah, like mine are the HD ones, so it's like rim
to rim clarity. So mine are not like that. I've had my binos for a long time. They're like a budget pair of Leopolds. They've worked, but for the style of hunting and glassing that needs to be done in Arizona, like the glass itself is not good enough. The 10x42s are good, but the 12x50s would probably be a little bit better.
Yeah.
So I'm going to upgrade my glass this year. And then I'm thinking about rifle hunting.
Yeah.
I haven't rifle hunted in a long time. Basically my first 2 years of hunting were rifle hunting. And then I started bow hunting.
Yeah, I've
bow hunted the whole time.
I'm just bow hunting, so I haven't done a rifle hunt yet. So that's one of the things I want to get for this year is get an actual like hunting rifle.
Nice bolt action.
Yeah, nice bolt action. And another one I want to try, I might go halfies with my brother, is a spotting scope.
Dude, there's so many good spotting scopes out there, but holy, you can get into some trouble with a spotter.
What's the
pricing
on that?
So I have a very cheap spotter. My wife was generous enough to find one at a garage sale for me. It's not good enough for like hunting wise, but it's great for bench shooting. I use it when I go and shoot my rifle. It's actually really nice for that. But to take it out in the field, not quite there yet, so I got away with my 15s, but a nice spotter would be nice. The guys that I was hunting with over in Arizona, they actually had a Maven spotter.
Yeah, they got top of the line.
It was super nice. I was like, holy moly, this thing's nice. Kirk, seriously, uses his 12 by 50s.
For everything. He's like, I don't need this. I got eagle eyes.
Dude, 12 by 50s, and he was spotting deer all over the place. And if you guys see one of the YouTube shorts, it's a buck moving in, and it's a 180 class mule deer buck. It's on one of the shorts on the YouTube channel, and he spotted that with his 12 by 50s, and then everybody's just like, holy crap. But he uses Swaros, man, and that's like some of the best glass you can buy.
Yeah.
So like 12 by 50, dude, I don't want to say it's like, he got his used, but like brand new ones, I couldn't even, they're like $2,800 or something like that.
I think like the only other stuff is more like camping related. Like I want to get some pots and pans and stuff, and it's just camping out of the truck, or so. It's not like backpacking. Like I'm good with hiking in and cooking, but like more like camping. So I want to do more camping and stuff.
So yeah, for me, binos. Thinking about rifle hunting, so I actually might pick up a new rifle. I actually been talking to you about this for a while now. I really want to try the 7 PRC. I think that could be a caliber that's going to be good for deer and elk, or pretty much. I don't know about moose, but deer and elk, I think it'd be probably like that all around caliber.
Yeah.
So I definitely want to try that out, and then I was going to go with a shelter and stove this year. I've been talking about it for years, but
get that hot tent.
Yeah, I've been looking at a few different hot tents. Argali is one, Seek Outside, and then 6 a.m. Outdoors. I've been looking at those three. But Seek just came out with a new one. I actually sent you a video of it today.
Yeah.
You can actually have a full floor in with a stove. Now, I like that because here in Washington, we have tons of mosquitoes, tons of ants, bees, all this other junk. Can't say I'm not a bug guy because bugs don't really bother me, but if I'm sleeping and something's like buzzing around my head, I don't like that.
Yeah. And you don't want to wake up with like a fat hand or something on your forehead got stung.
So I like to have basically an enclosed. This was not enclosed, but it's enclosed enough. Plus, you can still run the stove because now they have. I can't remember what the trekking pole tent's called. I can't remember what it's called, but it actually comes with like a heater protection thing for the stove itself. So that's how you can run the floor in it.
Has like flashing and stuff on the floor.
Yeah, so they have like this pad that actually comes with the floor when you purchase, because you can purchase without the floor, but when you purchase it with the floor, it comes with this thing.
Yeah, so you don't have to bring like something with you or anything. No, it just comes with it.
Yeah, it comes with it. So I was like, man, I'm all for that, but do I get this new rifle and scope, or do I go with this hot tent?
Scope and rifle.
So that's what I landed on.
Winter's always gone.
That's what I landed on. So only because for the hot tent, I would only use it if I'm seriously dedicated to the rifle season.
Yeah. You can always bring your heater buddy.
If I'm out of the truck, I can't go and backpack into somebody carrying that sucker around.
Heater buddy.
I ain't doing that.
But you can always do like the colder seasons out of the truck.
Yeah. And where I would be rifle hunting, I wouldn't be like backpacking into the backcountry.
It's like right off the fire roads and such.
Yeah, pretty much. The only hiking in that I would do is if I go to the washout.
Oh yeah.
but I'm not like certain that I'm going to rifle hunt. So more or less binos, rifle, that might be it. And then upgrading some more podcasting gear.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that podcasting gear.
Yeah, man. So Mike's actually rocking a new headset that we're testing out. I would like to probably get 4 of those.
4 of them?
Well,
Dang.
3 more. 3 more. Well, here's the thing. So if you get someone that's new to podcasting and they start moving around, now you can't hear them, right?
Yeah, they're like...
So now with that thing, it's like stuck to your face. So like you can move all around and do whatever you want, and the sound is still going to go through that microphone.
Yeah.
So if you get somebody that's like, uncomfortable in their chair, uncomfortable in front of a camera, and they're moving around
and whatnot.
Yeah, the dynamic mic only picks up the sound, right here. Like it's not going to really pick it up from the side. So,
yeah.
That's why I'm using this and you're using that. But only because we're testing it, right? You've been in front of the podcaster and a camera and stuff. Like it doesn't really bother you. Mike, he knows how to use a mic. He knows where his mouth needs to be. So it's more or less we were just testing it. So how do you like that?
I like it a lot. I feel like an aviator.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. The aviators thing going into it.
I think it's cool just because now, like, people have probably been watching this, and I've been kind of moving this thing around just because I move around.
Yeah.
So I always I'm like, oh, is this gonna is the things moving up and down? Is this good?
Sound volumes.
Yeah. So I'm always kind of like messing with it and farting with it, and you can probably hear it too. Like it does pick up noise when you're moving it around and stuff like that. But yeah. So I think picking up a couple more of those would be good. Having guests in using those would be good. When we go to the Sportsman show, so when Dave and I are interviewing people, it'd be nice for our guests to have something like that, so they're not like, again, moving around and not really in front of the microphone.
And it's easier because you don't have to bring the mic with you. It's just a headset.
Right.
So you don't have to set up more stuff.
Right. So that's another thing too, is that setup. I'm just plugging that in, putting it on, and you're ready to go. Now, here's the caveat to all that. It's super expensive. So that, I try to stay in a nice budget and still bring you all content. Yep. So that is an upgrade that I would like to start doing. Obviously, you can see we are not in the kill cave today. We will be podcasting, a couple podcasts here at my house, and then back in the kill cave when we can. Sandana is really busy this year, and just, he's still a huge, like the other part of this whole platform. But it's nice to have Mike come in, talk about, our hunting in 23, what we think we're going to be doing in 24. So Mike, what are your plans for 24? Like what do you see yourself
mainly doing?
Yeah, mainly doing for at least on like the preparation for hunting, all your outdoor stuff. Like what do you plan on doing for 24?
For 24 for outdoor stuff, preseason, as I'm going to say, then probably going to be doing Hoodoo and Stevens.
Oh yeah.
For the mountain challenges, and I want to do more camping.
Here, I really want to do high buck, but it's like right in the middle of the elk season. So depending on the day, so sometimes we'll get a elk season that starts like the 7th or 8th.
Yeah.
And then I'll hunt that until the start of high buck, and then do high buck for a week. So I'll have like a 2-week span off. First part of it will be elk season. Go with my smelly butt, not even shower, straight over where I'm going to go for high buck and hunt the high buck season, because it's basically a part of the regular season rifle tag. But you can go and do these certain areas that are designated for high buck hunting
early.
instead of going in October during the rifle season. But then you can still use that rifle tag for the rifle season.
Oh, okay.
And then at that point, it would probably be weekend warrior time because, I mean, I need to have 160 hours during that time because I'm taking another 2 weeks off at the end. So I'm going to take a week off towards the end of the year to hunt the last part of my Arizona tag.
Yeah.
And then try to get a 25 tag, stay there, and hunt that next week for the beginning of the 25 season in Arizona.
So you're going to be there during the last
2 weeks. So the last week and then the starting of January.
Oh, okay. So you're basically leaving like the day after Christmas and
maybe like the 27th or 28th or something, like 20 something. Yeah, I think it's that Saturday or something right after Christmas.
Huh. Yeah, because Christmas is Wednesday this year.
Yeah, so I'll be leaving probably that Friday after work or Saturday morning, and then getting off the plane and going right to wherever I can hunt.
Yeah, to make sure you can get the most for your bang for your buck.
Yeah, man. That and it's just fun. So even if I can't acquire a tag for 25, I still might go out there and hunt my Arizona 25 license because I'm still going to be putting in for elk points.
Yeah.
So when you do that, you have to purchase the hunting license, non-resident combo license, and then you can purchase like points towards either elk, rifle tags in Arizona, antelope tags, stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
So I'm still going to be putting in my points for Arizona as well. So if I can't do that, I'm going to go over there and hunt quail, coyotes, bobcats, and I think the other one's dove, but I'm not really going to be messing with those. But so quail, coyote, bobcats. So I'm still going over there.
A bobcat, that'd be.
Dude, I almost shot one.
You almost did?
I had 3 of them, but it was during like a scouting day, so I didn't have anything on me. If I would have chucked my binos at it and killed it, hey. But yeah, I was going to like another. So we had this glassing spot that we would go to every single morning and every night, and that's usually where we were spotting all the deer from. But I was going to go to another ridge to look at a whole nother area. Like there's this huge bowl area, and on my way over there, I spooked some bobcats. It's like, holy cow, there's 3 of them. It was cool.
All buddying together.
Yeah, it was cool. I got some on my phone. It's kind of grainy, but I'll post it up sometime. Probably be in a short, but it's very grainy, so it's not very high quality at all. But it's nice. But that's my plan, and it would be awesome if you would go with me. And I know that we need to elk hunt together. Which we didn't do this year.
Yeah, we didn't do it this year.
So depending on what happens with that, how much time I have, I know Mike doesn't take time off. So this guy's got endless time. I do not, because my wife likes to go on crazy vacations all the time, either Florida, South Carolina, Disneyland, or wherever the heck we're going. She just likes to be out at a beach somewhere. So that's what she likes to do. I like to hunt. I want to use my time for hunting, but I have a family, so we got to do all that stuff too.
You got to split responsibility.
Yeah, but usually on those trips I go fishing, so I like that.
You get something out of it.
Yeah. But yeah, man. So
that's another thing I want to do. I want to do some fishing trips.
Yeah, we're doing that.
Yeah.
I've been trying to get you to fish for a long time. So
I used to fish way back when, like before you could get a license. I was like when I was 15, 16 years old. And
yeah. But yeah, we'll definitely be doing some fishing this year. And then, so what would be your like main takeaway from what you learned in 23 that you're going to implement into 24?
What I've mainly learned was to get better at calls. I've been practicing with the reed more than, because I use the easy sucker.
Yeah, the Phelps Easy Sucker is like...
Yeah, it does really good. But I've been practicing with the reed because the reeds, they carries more through the woods than the Easy Sucker does.
Yeah, I would say the Easy Sucker would be really good when you're like pulling them in. Like you're already like, they're already there. They're already firing off. You need them to like just pull in a little bit more because it's a nice soft call. I really like the call.
Yeah,
it's
maybe
really nice.
Get like a couple other calls. like a turkey call or like what you have with the fawn call and stuff like that.
Yeah, man. Phelps, gamecalls.com. I know a guy. Yeah, so man. Yeah, maybe I'll do a class or something.
Or something like that.
Yeah, working with the turkey calls. So I have a couple slates and stuff, like glass pot calls too, that are really nice for turkeys. I stay away from the mouth reeds. It's not that I'm not good at them. I can get more sound out of the glass calls.
Yeah, scraping.
And then the box calls.
Yeah.
The box calls I can really get going really good. So maybe we'll get together. We'll do some elk stuff and some turkey stuff.
Maybe we can just do like a camping trip.
I'm down.
Just camp and just call.
Yeah, that sounds good. That sounds awesome. Sounds like we'll be making some people very unhappy.
I know.
Maybe we'll just get deep enough to where it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, just do like a little 1-2 day trip.
Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah, we'll do that.
Yeah, because that'd be kind of fun.
So your takeaway is getting better at calls and...
Really, my main thing was getting better at calls and being more of I'd say more patient, because I've noticed this time when I was out with my brother, I was moving around more than I think I should have done.
I had that problem.
Yeah, so I was thinking I need to be more patient and just sit.
Download some games on your phone. It sounds bad, but sometimes in your sits, it's like, this is boring. I need to get up and stretch my legs, right? Like, so then you start like cruising around, and then you just end up boogering up a bunch of stuff when they could have been moving in, right? It's just like, oh, I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
So I don't know, a book, looking at your OnX maps.
Yeah.
Trying to like really like dial in, like, oh man, okay, we're right here right now. It's been 2.5 hours. Nothing's really walking in. If we can creep over to here and just sit here, because now we're in like a nice bowl, or say like you're in the mountains and there's a saddle. It's like, man, we should probably get down in here somewhere.
Yeah.
That's kind of, I always look at my OnX a lot, and then I have like a techno bowl football game that that I win championships on.
The only game I play is freaking my little farming game. That's about it.
Yeah, man, my takeaway for 23 is expect the unexpected.
Yeah.
And that's it. Has nothing to do with any gear, calls, my hunting tactics, or anything like that. Is just expect the unexpected. That's my main takeaway. There's been a few times where, I should have zigged and I zagged and I ended up in the wrong spot, and then things didn't happen. But that's another thing of like, expect the unexpected.
Yeah.
There's times where down in Arizona, I was going after a buck, and then all of a sudden a doe would pop up because she was like laying down and like all the way down. And when they lay all the way down, they're tiny. They're like this big,
like melted into the ground.
Yeah, and they'd just pop up and booger out, and then that doe would take the buck or something like that. And it's like, oh gosh, dang it! It gets super frustrating. But if you're expecting the unexpected, and I was creeping a little bit slower.
Yeah, you would.
Maybe I wouldn't have spooked that doe, because I'm talking like this is like 100 yards away.
Yeah,
I think this pops up and like, oh crap, slow down a little bit, take your time, things will work out a little bit better. And I'm still learning that. And I mean, haven't been hunting super long time. I started when I was like 28 years old.
And I've been hunting less, so.
But see, here's the thing though, is that like, I think when you're an adult hunting, you don't have time for all the mess ups. So you have to learn quicker.
Yeah, the learning curve is higher.
Yeah. So like when you're younger, like, usually when you're younger, you'll go hunt with your dad or say your uncle or grandfather or whoever, and you're going to learn from them. And you have a little bit longer time, right?
Yeah.
Just because, like, let's say you started when you're 10, and then now you're in your 20s. Like, you've had that, like, time when you were younger to, like, kind of, like, hit your stride. Like, when you're an adult, you already need to be striding.
I know.
And it sucks.
Jump out of the car at 40 instead of 10.
Exactly. You're booking it. So, like, I think that when you start when you're an adult, I'm not saying don't start when you're an adult, because I did, and it's changed my life completely. All I'm saying is that the time spent in the woods, like, every single moment needs to be a learning experience. Because when you're a kid, you're usually just following around and just, I don't know what, I'd have to ask my kids.
Yeah.
Especially Devin. I mean, I started him fairly young, just him going with me. Like, he was hunting with me when he was like 5.
It's
He
probably
didn't start
more
hunting
like,
until he was like 12.
When you're a kid, you're in autopilot until the adult says to stop here and look around.
Yeah, or
you don't
it's
really
like,
pay attention.
there's a buck.
You wherever you go. Yeah.
Pull the trigger. Yeah, you don't have those moments, right? So, like, I don't know. It's just a little bit different.
Yeah.
But it's fun.
It's always fun.
Yeah.
I like the camping part more.
Just being out in the woods as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's out in the woods with a weapon for me.
Yeah. You're camping with a chance to kill something. That's basically what it is.
But we have fun doing it, and we like to share our experiences with everybody. But yeah, man, I'm excited for this year. I'm excited. I'm excited for what's to come. Only because you just really don't know. You don't know how the season's gonna go, and I really think 2024 is we're gonna have some tags filled. I really think that.
The weather seems to be, it's not going to be super hot, so it's probably going to be more movement during those archery seasons. And
yeah, I'm thinking it's going to be fairly mild. This winter hasn't really been too bad. The snow levels are not super bad, so
just got cold, and that's about it.
Yeah, so we'll definitely see what happens, but yeah,
looking forward to it.
Yeah, man. All right, everybody. Well, thank you for listening. Please head over to phelpsgamecalls.com. Check them out. We've been talking about calls. That's primarily what we use 100% is Phelps. And then also go and check out Crazy Elk Company. Use Ridgeline 20 to get 20% off your purchase. I recommend getting a tag wallet. It's a great way to hold your tags, and when you tag out, you throw that tag in there, put it on the antler or ear or leg or whatever. It has a reusable zip tie. I mean, you'll probably never have to use any other zip ties. Awesome way to hold your tags. And then also check out Millie Freak. Go check out MillieFreak.com. They help me out. I'm actually wearing a Millie Freak hat. And we're also, this might come out after the show, but during the Sportsman show, we'll be giving away a rifle cover from Millie Freak.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty awesome, and it
That'd be
attaches to your pack.
Oh, that's definitely good.
Yeah, so I bought one for myself, but I also bought one for a lucky winner at the Sportsman show. So, and they'll get a hat, Millie Freak hat.
Oh, a hat and you have to be at the Sportsman show to win it?
Yep. So that would have probably already happened when this comes out. So, darn. There are shorts that have all this stuff in it on YouTube. So check that out. But yeah, man. Well, thank you everybody for listening. We're going to call it a night.
Yep.
All right, guys. Thank you.